Hello, 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 guys. Welcome to our session. How are you today? Happy Friday. It's a weekend.
Thank you, teacher. I'm doing fantastic. What about you?
Hello. Hello, my dear John. I am great today. I'm very excited because it's Friday.
Glad to hear that. Me too.
Good, good, good. Welcome to our session. I'm very happy to have you here tonight. Okay. Guys, welcome everyone. Welcome, welcome, welcome. I really hope that all of you are having a great week so far and a great Friday and a great start of the weekend. So today we are having our fourth week, no, our our sixth session. Guys, today is February the 24th. Ver tantos cuatros por ahí me confundieron. Ciclo 4, B1.4, febrero 24. So we are having our sixth session. And today is February the 24th. So I'm going to be sharing the agenda for today. We're going to begin with a warming up activity about narrative tenses. Then we are going to review a little bit the vocabulary that you studied yesterday with teacher Marilyn. Well, yes, I'm not 100% sure if it was only yesterday, but also or on Wednesday as well, but it was for sure either yesterday or on Wednesday. So we're going to review this that is about mishaps. Then we're going to work on the book on pages 28 and 29, and we're going to finish our first part of the session with a writing exercise about well, it's going to be a very short and easy activity that is on the book. So let's start. We're going to begin with a warming up about narrative tenses. This is going to be a speaking wheel that I'm going to share right now. So if you guys want to participate, the questions are pretty interesting. And then the idea is that you give us like, you tell us something short about that situation there, okay? So I'm going to I'm going to make it bigger. And then if there is a volunteer to start, that will be awesome. And I'm going to spin the wheel. And then when the wheel stops, one of the situations is going to appear for that person, and that person is going to tell us a little bit about that. Is it clear?
Yes, teacher.
Yes? Okay.
Yes, teacher.
Okay, awesome. Is there a person that would like to start? Is there a volunteer to start? Or yours?
Me?
Okay, Mayra. Okay, great, 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 great. So I will spin the wheel. Okay. Mayra, tell us a little bit about a strange or unexpected encounter. This means once that you met with, encounter means encuentro, or a time that you met with someone that it was either strange or unexpected.
Or unexpected. Well, it happens to me all the time.
All the time it happens to you?
Yes, 6 months ago, I was in an airplane, and I don't know if this is like, I don't know if this is correct, but the guy next to me, he was a complete strange, and he told me like, excuse me, like, can I ask you something? And I said, yes, yes, of course. Can I hold your hand?
What?
And I say, excuse me, what? And he said, yeah, let me explain you. I have like a phobia, and it's really, really, really hard for me to take an airplane. And when we start to move, I'm going to start to screaming.
Oh,
Really? No, that could not happen. Let me help you.
Oh, of
I
course.
hold
So
his hand.
he wanted some help.
Yeah, support,
Oh,
like emotional support.
oh, but that is so nice of you. That is so nice of you that you
I
help.
hug him, of course.
That is so nice of you, because there are people that are very like afraid or scared of airplanes, and then they start, like crying, or
He tried to scream, like
yeah.
really. He
Oh,
was really scared, so I hugged him, I support him, and my cousin was like, unbelievable. How you can do that?
well, at
Why
the
do you do that?
beginning.
And he said, because he was asking for help.
Yeah, but that is very nice of you. I mean, at the beginning, it might have, sounded like weird, like, can I
He
hold
was
your
weird.
hand? At the beginning, you're like, why? Like it's weird that you are, like walking, or you're waiting at some point, or at some place or something, and then a random person comes at you and tells you if he or she can't hold your hand, which is at the beginning weird. But after that person explains the situation, then it gets better, and then you're like, oh, I understand why. And then
Well, I hold his hand for 5 hours, okay?
oh, for 5 hours, oh my god.
I was like, okay, this is too much, but if you need this, I can help you.
Oh, that's so nice of you. That's very, very, very nice of you, because I'm sure it was hard for him, and maybe it was the first time that he was flying away alone, and then it was weird for him, but not only weird, but like hard for him. But thank goodness you were there to support him, to help him. Very good. Thank you, Maida. Thank you very much.
Thank you, teacher.
Okay, very good. Is there another person, guys? Another person that wants to do not this question, like another one? Is there another person? No volunteers, so I'm going to volunteer you. Let's go with Joely. Joely, you're gonna be the next one. Okay, Joely, you can talk about an encounter that changed your life or taught you a lesson. Not necessarily that changed your life. It could be something that taught you a lesson, something that you learned from, that it was important for you. Joely Ayala. Joely. Joely. I see that you activated your mic. Veo que activaste tu micrófono. However, sin embargo, cuando tú intentas hablar, like it shows me that you're trying to talk, and I cannot see that. And I can't see that. Joely, I'm waiting for you. Okay, so I guess you're not willing to participate. Okay, another person, please. Is there another person that wants to play or do the activity?
Me, teacher.
Okay, who, sorry?
Diana.
Diana. Okay, very good, Diana, awesome. Okay, this is interesting. An experience that showed how appearances can be deceiving. Deceiving means not what you thought. Like when we say las apariencias engañan.
Okay, okay, teacher. Maybe last year when I start to work in a project, the first impression about my boss was like she was like rude or not polite. But when I met her, well, when the time passed and I really um, met her really well, she was like totally different than this
What you
first
expected.
impression that
Yeah.
I had.
Okay, that happens all the time, especially with people that they have kind of like a strong personality, and then sometimes it happens to me all the time. And when people look at me, they think that I'm always mad because I don't know, in when I'm like walking or waiting or I'm in a place, I'm always like I have like a serious face like this, but
Yes, it also happens to me.
it doesn't mean
Yeah.
it doesn't mean and then people think that I am moody, that I am like a mean person, and I'm not like that. It's like it's that has happened to me so many times that people, they sometimes they don't talk to me because they think that I am not like a nice person, and then I'm like, no, you can talk to me. You can, maybe it's like it's my face expression, that sometimes I may have like a face like this, but it doesn't mean that I am like like mad or something. So I totally understand that. Thank you. Okay, another person, guys. One more. Let's go with one more.
Me, teacher.
Okay, Angelica. Very good. And then Brian. Okay, very good. Angelica, your first time away from home. Have you ever been away from home?
Yes, teacher. The first time was when I start a university because my family live in Cucuta. So I have to move to Caramanga, and I never was got went out in my home. The first semester was difficult.
Yeah.
I was sad and some cases
Homesick.
and,
Homesick.
and sick. Thank you.
Yeah.
Because I was I'm older son, but sorry, daughter, but
Uh-huh.
I'm the baby of my dad. So it was funny
Yeah.
and yeah, but it's okay for now.
Now you got used to and now it's all good, but at the beginning it was hard. I'm sure it was the first time that we move away from home or that we are away from home. It's always hard because you get to feel homesick, and I think it has happened to to all of us. I mean, if we are, or if we ever had like an experience away from home. Very good. Thank you, Diana. And then the last Angelica, sorry. And then Brian, you wanted to participate. Is that right?
Yes.
Okay. Okay, Brian, this is interesting. A day when everything went right or wrong.
Okay. Wow. I I think the last week
Last
I
week.
had 4 exams, including the exam of the English course, and I had to study a lot all day and on the nights, also on the nights, because it was the end of the semester and the end of the English course.
Yeah,
And I
right.
had to work hard, but on this day, I can get a good degrees in all the
Good
exams.
grades. Good, that's good. And now you are on vacation, right? Do you study at WIS? Do you study at WIS? Brian, do you study at WIS at the university? Are you on vacation right now? Well, I guess. Brian, do you study at WIS?
Yes, teacher.
Oh, and yeah, you guys finished semester last week, I think, and now you're on
Yes.
vacation. Okay, that's
Yes.
good. That's good. That's good. That you have time to relax, you have time for yourself. Okay, guys, very good. So let's continue. I am going to call the attendance. I'm going to stop this activity because we don't have much time to play with it. So I'm going to call the attendance and you're going to let me know that you are here. You're going to activate your mic, please. Okay. Acevedo Cuevas Saray. Saray Acevedo Cuevas. Saray Acevedo, are you here? Okay. Albarracín Caballero Cristian.
Here, teacher.
Okay, very good. Álvarez Becerra Andrés.
I'm here, teacher.
Okay, very good. Ayala Viloria Joeli. Ayala Viloria Joeli. Vaca Yain Andrea.
Present, teacher.
Okay. Cárdenas Flores Gilbert Niger. Oh, he's coming. Okay. Carrero Bonilla John Hammer.
Present, teacher.
Okay, very good. Córdoba Miranda Stephanie. Oh, sorry. Cordero Castellanos Brian Miguel. Brian. Well, you were just participating, so you are here. Córdoba Miranda Stephanie.
Present, teacher.
Very good. Durán Ardila Silvia Alejandra.
Present, teacher.
Good. Fonseca García Freddy.
Hi, teacher. I'm here.
Okay. Liscan Marisa Judy Lisette. Good. Lozada Díaz, Diana Lisette.
Present teacher.
Okay.
Present
very good.
teacher.
Okay, very good. Lozada Uribe Daniela.
Present teacher.
Okay. Muñoz Salazar Andrea Juliana.
I'm here, teacher.
Excellent. Pérez Ardila Natalie Joanna.
Here, teacher.
Awesome. Pinzón Linares Mayra Juliet.
Present teacher.
Good. Plata Vargas Mayra Alejandra.
Here, teacher.
Good. Rodríguez Llorente Harold David.
Here, sorry, suffer because of my internet today.
Oh, it's okay, but you're here. Don't worry. Sandoval Miranda Angélica Stephanie.
Hi, teacher.
Very good. Sierra Jaimes Daniela Fernanda.
Hi, teacher.
Good. Velasco Uribe Ana María. Ana María Velasco. Vera Peña Jennifer Jimena.
Here, teacher.
Okay, very good. Okay, guys. So let's continue. We are going to open our books. I am going to share my agenda.
Teacher,
Yes.
I'm Gilbert. I'm just arrived to the
Yes,
class.
I saw that, and okay, don't worry. I realized that you were here.
Teacher, me, I was in the bathroom.
Yes, and don't worry. I read your message.
Thank
Okay. Okay, it's okay. Okay, guys, let's open the book. Let's go to page 28 and 29. Those are the pages that we're going to be working on today. Pages 28 and 29. Okay, so today we are going to talk about we're going to be working on this exercise, which is a pretty interesting. We are going to do a listening exercise and a speaking activity, but before we do this exercise, we are going back a little bit, and we're going to review this vocabulary about mishaps. This is actually from last night. Last night you studied this with teacher Marilyn. So we are going to look at the mishaps and we're going to review the meaning of the words in bold. The first one is you lose your keys and lock yourself out. What is the meaning of this expression or this sentence, guys? What is the meaning of lock out? Lock yourself out.
Como quedarse afuera.
Yes.
Uno queda afuera a la calle.
Yes. Has it ever happened to you?
That happened always to me.
Really? It happens all the time to you?
Well, when I was young, more
when I was younger, because
younger when I was younger.
You were young.
Was
So
usually to me.
It happens to me. It happens to me also. I mean, not anymore because my mom is always at home now. So there is always a person in my house. But in the past, I used to, forget my keys. And then when I was studying at university, and then I had to wait outside and call them and like, oh, can you please come and open the door for me? Because I didn't bring my keys with me, and I'm outside. So that
teacher, it happened a lot of in my family.
Yeah.
All the time. We are 5 persons.
Oh, really?
And we have 5 keys. Yes.
Mm-hmm.
And all persons forget the keys.
Oh,
a
really?
lot of time.
They forget.
A lot of time. Yes.
Yeah.
So we decide put a key in reception, in the reception of the
building.
apartment. Yes. For or
in those
urge.
cases, you know, in
Yeah.
those scenarios. Oh,
Yes.
and also it happened that I have two sisters, and then my little sister, well, both of them. I don't want to say that only my little sister, but also my older sister. I'm the one in the middle. Oh my goodness, if they are sleeping, there is no human power or anything or God's power or whatever it is, or nature power that makes them or that wakes them up, them up. It's impossible. Like there is no way. I remember one day I arrived home from, I was at university, and then it was probably like 5 p.m. or something, or 4. I finished classes at 4, so I took a bus, and then when I arrived home it was probably 4:30 or 5, I don't remember. And then one of my sisters was at home, but she was sleeping, and then I was like calling her, and then and I was, Paula, calling her all the time, and no, she wouldn't wake up, and it was like horrible. And I had to wait outside and call my mom and told her like, okay, I am calling Paula, but she is sleeping, and I'm outside, and I can't open the door. So I had to wait for my mom, and then when she came home, my sister was still sleeping. She's crazy about that. Like there is no power that wakes her up. It's impossible. Okay. The second one, you get stuck in the traffic and miss an appointment. Has it ever happened to you guys? Get stuck in the traffic and miss an appointment or miss a flight? Yes.
Yes, teacher.
Yes. It hasn't
Yes.
happened to me, but it's horrible. I'm sure it is. You sleep on some ice. Has it ever happened to you? Sleep on some ice.
No, maybe in order, like when someone splits
See,
water
when
on the
when
floor.
someone splits water, yeah, it has happened to me on ice during winter in the USA. When it was winter time, it gets very slippery because when it snows and then the temperature goes up, and then but it's still negative degrees, so it's -1 or -2, and then there is sunlight, so the water, the snow melts. However, because it's under 0 degrees or below, the water it freezes again, and it becomes or turns into ice. So it happened to me many times that I was walking and I slipped on some ice, and I felt like it happened to me so many times. It's dangerous. You can break your leg or something, or an arm or anything or something. What about trip and fall over? You trip and fall over
Teacher, yes, all the time.
all
For
the
me,
time?
all the time. Yes. I hate it.
I trip all the time, but I don't fall over. Sometimes I trip, but I don't fall over. I have fallen over, but I don't remember. It's not very common. It's not. But I constantly trip. I constantly do it. What about get on the wrong? Well,
Teacher, when you
yes.
said that you trip and fall over, is like the bus, o sea, te dejó como, o se dañó, o cuál sería?
Trip and fall
No,
over.
fall over, yes. What is the meaning of this expression?
Trip is when we say tropezar, right? Trip means tropezar, and then fall over, it's like caerse.
Ah, okay.
Okay. You got on the wrong train. Well, not necessarily train, but let's say on the wrong bus. Has it ever happened to you? You got on the wrong
Yes.
bus? Yes, it has. And then what happened? What did you do?
I take it a bus to the university,
Uh-huh.
but I don't know what happened. The the picture of on the bus say like Luis, and I say like, okay,
Okay,
it's
this is the bus I need to
going to,
take.
yes,
It's going to
need
take
to
me to
take the bus
university,
to,
but no.
I no, she this bus go to like Piedecuesta.
Oh,
I
so
think.
and that it ended up going to the what is the name of that building from Guatiguara, I think. Yes.
Yes.
Oh, and you ended up in Guatiguara, really?
Yes,
Oh wow.
teacher.
Well, those are things that happen, you know, those are things that happen. Okay.
It's very difficult go to Guatiguara in bus. It's
Really?
you are probably for Julie. Yes, it's very difficult.
Really? I have never been there, so I don't know where it is. I don't know where it is.
That's fast to me.
Okay, okay.
I need to know what is this bus.
Really? Yeah, it's important
It's
to
the
make
road.
sure. I always ask. I always ask. I mean, it doesn't matter. Jennifer says Ruta 53. So
Thanks.
yes, yes. I always ask, even though the you know the picture, the sign says downtown or this place, I always ask because I sometimes I'm scared of ending up in a different place from where I want to go. So I always ask first. What about you get confused and make a mistake? For example, at home or
I believe that this is more common for us.
In exams.
Because
in an
Yes.
exam, you got confused
All the
with
time.
grammar, and then and you made a mistake in the writing part. Maybe maybe this is something that can happen for sure. Okay, your car breaks down. Has it ever happened to you guys? Your car breaks down, or that your car broke down?
Yes, teacher, in my case.
Yes,
It
and
was
then what do you do?
in pandemic.
Oh.
The charge of battery
Oh,
no more, and
and then you had to call for help,
yeah,
and then another.
and some guys that look
They
the
were passing
situation.
by. Mm-hmm.
Yes, help me and push down, empujar.
And pushed the car, and then it turned off. It turned on.
Yes.
Okay, very good. Okay, excellent. Thank goodness they were here. They were there, not here. They were there to help you. That's good. What about your bang your head? Has it ever happened to you? Like you bang your head?
With a cell phone.
Or it happens when we are laying in our bed and we are texting, and then you drop your phone and it hits your head. It happens, right? I'm not the
Teacher,
only
what's
one.
bang?
What?
What's bang?
Bang is like golpear. Hit.
Many
Like
times.
Yeah, it happens all the time. I mean, it happens when I'm lying on my bed, and then I have slippery hands, and then I drop my phone, and then I hit it's something that it shouldn't happen, but it happens. What about you get lost? Have you ever got lost in Bucaramanga or in another city?
Yes, teacher.
Yes.
Yes.
Many
teacher, what is get lost? Como perderse.
Yes, exactly. You are in a place, you don't know where you are, you're like, oh my God, where am I? What am I supposed to do? Where am I supposed to go? Yep.
Teacher,
Yes. Hello.
please check
Yes,
your
teacher.
inbox.
Yes, Brian, I checked that, and when I was calling your name on the attendance, I knew that you were here because you were just participating. So I knew that you were in the session. You were in the
I
session.
was worried.
No, don't worry. Don't worry. Good. What about you spill paint on your clothes? Has it ever happened to you?
Teacher sauces, not paint, but the sauces
Oh,
like
okay.
piña, tomate,
Tomato.
Maybe food.
Fruit, okay, okay. Or
Every day
when
the
you're
food.
drinking. Oh, it happened to me. Like one day I bought a new shirt, and it was a white shirt, and I was very happy wearing my new shirt. And I was on my way to work, and I had this brilliant idea, which of course it was not brilliant. I was drinking coffee, and then I was in a taxi, and then the taxi driver stopped in a traffic light, and I was like, oh, I'm going to drink some coffee. And I don't know what happened, but I spilled the coffee on my new shirt on my way to work, and I was like, oh my god, what am I going to do? So I arrived to the classroom, and and I had to go to the bathroom and like wash a little bit of my shirt. And then I told my students, like, well, I'm so sorry, you are gonna see me with my shirt like this, but I spilled coffee. And they were, they're like, oh, don't worry, they were super nice. But I was embarrassed because it was very early in the morning, and I had to teach a class all day, and I had to wear my shirt like that. So it happened to me. So never drink coffee when you are in a taxi on your way home or work or something. Yeah, just don't drink coffee when you are in a car. What about the next one? You run out of petrol or gas. Has it ever happened to you?
No.
Nope, never. Okay. You overslept and missed. You overslept and missed in the past your
class teacher.
your flight. What?
I overslept, slept, and
I overslept.
missed my class. Not
Oh,
train,
you missed
but it's my class.
your class.
One class more, one class less. Don't worry. Don't bother.
Of course, things that happen.
After the class, I learned a note.
Okay, it was an English class or another class?
Another teacher.
Oh, okay, it was another class. Okay,
I
that's
changed. Now I am another person.
good. Okay, that's
Teacher in virtual class is very common.
it's very common.
So,
Yeah.
yes.
Yeah, it happened to me when I was at university, and I had a 6 a.m. class, and I overslept, and when I woke up it was like 9, and I was like, well, what can I do? I missed the class. It wasn't something that happened to me frequently, but it happened a couple of times, and I'm thank goodness it wasn't on an exam day or something. What about you dropped something valuable and broke it? Has it ever happened to you guys? You dropped?
Yes, teacher.
What was it?
With a fossil.
With
a fossil in my paleontology class. I have. Yes, but don't worry.
Oh my God, terrible.
but don't worry, it's a common fossil, not a unique fossil.
So it wasn't something like, okay, it's
yes,
not
we have
to
a lot
find.
of this.
Oh,
yes.
So you have many, you have different samples of that, and then
yes,
okay,
yes,
good.
But
oh my goodness.
But this was terrible. These days,
I'm sure it was.
Yes,
I'm sure it was.
I feel very embarrassing.
Yeah, you felt embarrassed because of the situation. Everybody was looking at you and like, oh my God, what did she do? What did she just do? Horrible.
Yes.
Yeah.
The
things
teacher,
that
the teacher looked me like,
happen. Manos de mantequilla. You know? So,
yes.
okay. And what about the last one? You borrowed something without asking and damage it. So you borrowed something without asking and then you ended up damaging it. Has it ever happened to you? With your sisters, with
Don't,
friends, with
not this a borrow, but when I was a child with my brother, we usually play, and my mother have like things, porcelana, like how do you
okay.
say porcelana? Teacher?
It's I think it's let me check the word because I'm not porcelain. Yeah,
Porcelain,
porcelain. Yeah.
porcelain, and we damage it, and after that, oh my god, trust on the.
And she was mad at
Trust-
you.
Yes.
She was mad at
It's-
you. I'm sure she was.
Como
Mothers
que
are
trust my
yeah.
mother, don't look.
mothers are very strict with those things, especially when we were kids, you know, they were like, oh, don't do that, you know, don't look at it, or yeah, mothers tend to be like that. Okay, guys, now that we reviewed a little bit of this vocabulary about mishaps, now we're going to move back to page 28 and 29. We are going to do a listening exercise and we're going to listen to a story, but this story has 2 points of view. So it's going to be very interesting. You're going to listen to this and you are going to see what happened. So before we listen, we're going to look at the pictures. These pictures show an incident that happened to Bill and Frank after they had been to a party. So they were in a party, and then after the party, something happened. We are going to match the words in the box to the pictures. So we have laugh your head off, a police car, break into a car, a slippery road, swear, thick eyes, sway all over the place, a police cell, be drunk, and a steep hill. Is there any word that you don't recognize from here? Maybe if you look at the pictures, let me zoom out here. Okay, there we go. So let's take a look at the pictures. Is there any word from this vocabulary that you don't recognize? Or that you don't understand?
Teacher,
Yes.
thick eyes. What
Thick
do you
eyes.
mean of thick?
Thick eyes is eyes like this, like grueso, thick eyes.
Teacher, what is it? State all over the place? Is weight.
Sway all over the place. It means when the floor is slippery, and then when you are, you know, trying to not to fall, but then you're like stumbling, that is sway all over the place. It happens when you are, for example, you are washing the floor and not like not only like mopping the floor, but you are adding like extras like have Ariel detergent and soap, and then you are like cleaning your floor and it turns slippery, and then it happens that you are, you know, like walking like this. So this is like sway all over the place, like tambalearse. Okay.
Okay.
Okay. Is there any other from here, or all of them are good? Okay, so all good. We're going to look at the pictures and we are going to try to understand what happened. So they were at the party. Yes, they were dancing, they were at a party. And then, well, we will see. Let's look at the picture. We cannot, I mean, it's not very clear what is happening. We don't know if, I mean, maybe they're like, we can see that it was snowing and maybe there is ice on the floor. So the ice is probably thick, and then they are trying not to fall over. And then what happened here? What can you see in the picture? What can you see in the picture, guys?
Maybe she's thinking that they want to steal something from the car.
Okay, okay. So an old lady, she heard the noises, and then she was looking through the window, and she saw the guy who was trying maybe to open that door from the car. Okay. Then the next picture, what is happening, or what do you think is happening?
Teacher.
Like they were stumbling.
It's wrong, maybe.
Okay, so maybe they were like helping each other. So because they don't want
He's drunk.
Yeah, maybe they're drunk, they're laughing. We can see that they are laughing. They are not having a hard time. They're laughing. Maybe they're drunk, maybe. And then what happens here in the following picture?
The woman called the police.
She called the police. Okay, she called the police. And what happens then? In the last,
They got arrested.
they got arrested. So the police officers came and they arrested them. Okay, now guys, we are going to listen to what Bill told his lawyer after the incident. After that, we are going to listen to what the old lady told the police. Okay, so you are going to make notes because we're going to pay attention to the details. Okay, so we're going to find out what happened. Remember that is a story from 2 points of view. We're going to listen to the story from Bill and Frank point of view, and then we're going to listen to the story from the old lady point of view. Okay, so let's start.
Unit 3, Recording 4. It was about midnight, I guess. I was coming home from a Christmas party with my friend Frank. It was very, very cold, absolutely freezing. There was thick ice everywhere and it had been snowing for several hours. Actually, maybe it was still snowing because we really couldn't see where we were going. The road we were walking down was on a really steep hill too, so you can imagine it was just so slippery and we couldn't see a thing, so, well, we just kept falling over. We'd get up and 2 seconds later, we fell over again. Not because we were drunk or anything, but just because it was so slippery. Anyway, for some reason, this all began to seem very funny, and we were laughing our heads off and calling to each other for help, you know. We really didn't know how we were going to get down that hill. We weren't making any progress at all. Well, eventually, we realised that the only way we could move at all was if we held onto the cars that were parked in the street for support. So that's what we did, and slowly we were managing to move along. Except suddenly, this police car drew up and 2 police officers got out and started shouting at us. We tried to talk to them and find out what the problem was, but they wouldn't listen to us. They just pushed us in the back of the car and drove us to the nearest police station. To be honest, I can't remember much after that, but a few hours later, I woke up in a police cell, feeling absolutely terrified, not to mention freezing cold.
We're going to listen to it again.
Unit 3, Recording 4. It was about midnight, I guess. I was coming home from a Christmas party with my friend Frank. It was very, very cold, absolutely freezing. There was thick ice everywhere and it had been snowing for several hours. Actually, maybe it was still snowing because we really couldn't see where we were going. The road we were walking down was on a really steep hill too, so you can imagine it was just so slippery and we couldn't see a thing, so, well, we just kept falling over. We'd get up and 2 seconds later, we fell over again. Not because we were drunk or anything, but just because it was so slippery. Anyway, for some reason, this all began to seem very funny, and we were laughing our heads off and calling to each other for help, you know. We really didn't know how we were going to get down that hill. We weren't making any progress at all. Well, eventually, we realised that the only way we could move at all was if we held onto the cars that were parked in the street for support. So that's what we did, and slowly we were managing to move along. Except suddenly, this police car drew up and 2 police officers got out and started shouting at us. We tried to talk to them and find out what the problem was, but they wouldn't listen to us. They just pushed us in the back of the car and drove us to the nearest police station. To be honest, I can't remember much after that, but a few hours later, I woke up in a police cell, feeling absolutely terrified, not to mention freezing cold.
Okay, guys, so what happened to Bill and Frank?
They in a middle night was on a Christmas party. It was very cold, and they didn't drunk, but for the cold
They didn't
for the
drink.
ice,
Yeah, they didn't drink.
They didn't drink, but for ice, they stick in the ice. So they couldn't see the way and have to move on, go out the car and, how do you say, move, como empujar,
push
the car, and the police saw, and the police talk that they are drunk and go
That
to
they
the
were
police
drunk.
station.
Okay, and then the lady thought that what did the lady think?
That he was drunk.
Okay, so, well, first of all, they were in a party, and then they were walking home, but there was a steep hill, and it was snowing, and there was thick ice on the road, so they were trying not to fall over, and then they were just helping each other to go through the hill. And then what happens? The police officers arrived, and then they drove them to the jail, and and then they had to spend the night in a cell, in a police cell, and they couldn't explain the police officers what really happened, because they wouldn't listen to them. Okay, now we're going to listen to what the old lady told the police. Let's listen to the other part.
Unit 3, Recording 5.
It all happened at about 1 o'clock in the morning, I would say. I had gone to bed at 10, as usual, but I had to get up to go to the bathroom. As I was getting back into bed, I heard this dreadful noise outside in the street, men shouting. So, of course, I went to the window to see what was going on. Anyway, I looked out and saw these 2 young men just outside my house. They were swaying all over the place, shouting and swearing at each other. They had obviously been drinking. You could see they were drunk. Very aggressive and nasty-looking types. Then I noticed that they were doing something to the cars. It was a very clear night with a full moon, so I could see everything. They were banging on all the car windows, trying to break into them. Obviously, as soon as I realised what was going on, I called the police straight away, and thank goodness they came more or less immediately, and arrested them before they could do any damage. It was very lucky I happened to wake up and catch them. Otherwise, I'm sure half the cars in the neighbourhood would have been robbed, even stolen. This is a nice neighbourhood. People have expensive cars with all sorts of expensive things in them. It was very lucky that I saw it all.
What about that? Name?
Good. Do you?
Neighbor?
Yeah, neighbor. So Maida says gossip. And then Stephanie, I hate her. So guys, do you need to listen to it again? Maybe did you miss a part or you're good?
Again, teacher.
Again? Okay. Let's listen again.
Unit 3, Recording 5.
It all happened at about 1 o'clock in the morning, I would say. I had gone to bed at 10, as usual, but I had to get up to go to the bathroom. As I was getting back into bed, I heard this dreadful noise outside in the street, men shouting. So, of course, I went to the window to see what was going on. Anyway, I looked out and saw these two young men just outside my house. They were swaying all over the place, shouting and swearing at each other. They had obviously been drinking. You could see they were drunk. Very aggressive and nasty-looking types. Then I noticed that they were doing something to the cars. It was a very clear night with a full moon, so I could see everything. They were banging on all the car windows, trying to break into them. Obviously, as soon as I realized what was going on, I called the police straight away, and thank goodness they came more or less immediately, and arrested them before they could do any damage. It was very lucky I happened to wake up and catch them. Otherwise, I'm sure half the cars in the neighbourhood would have been robbed, even stolen. This is a nice neighbourhood. People have expensive cars with all sorts of expensive things in them. It was very lucky that I saw it all.
Okay. So this old lady, what happened? What did she see? What did she hear? What is the part of, what is the side of the story, her side of the story?
She listened.
She heard.
She heard at 1 o'clock in the morning because she was sleeping but go to the bathroom.
She went to the bathroom.
And she listened her men shouting and drunk. Well, she said that they are drunk. So
she said that they were drunk.
after that, she looked that they are damaged the car, and of course called the police because it's a good neighborhood and an expensive car. So of course called the police, and police arrived and arrest them.
Yes. Okay. Anything else, guys, that you want to? Thank you very much, Daniela. Thank you. Anything else that you would like to add to this story?
She said that they were nasty and they were chatting at each
they were-
other
and they
and
were
that they were
sweating.
banging the car windows. Yeah.
Yes, they were banging in the car windows, trying to open them, and they were sweating. So sweating, it means when we say I swear, it means I promise, jurar, right? But it also means to say bad words like insultar. So it has two meanings. So she said, the old lady said that they were, saying bad words and nasty words, and then they were trying, but I kind of understand her point of view. She's an old lady. Maybe she lives alone, and then nobody else was with her at home, probably. And then you see two young guys being noisy outside. Maida, yes, I will give you the word in a second. Trying to, and she saw through the window that they were trying, because they were holding with their carts, and they were using the cars to stop them not from falling over. So maybe she saw, or in her point of view, they were trying to maybe like open the doors of the cars, and then she was scared because she's an old lady. And then if they made, what if they got into, or they broke into a house? And yeah, it could be super like scary and dangerous, and that's why she called the police. Yes, Maida.
Teacher, but I think that she also sounds a little elitist, or it's my impression, because she said like, oh, this is like a fancy neighborhood, and they could rob a lot of cars, and people who live here has like expensive cars.
Yeah, maybe. You know, that is, there are some neighborhoods in different areas that are very expensive, and then you see a lot of money there, not only in cars but also in houses, in homes there. So the old lady was worried, because what if she was alone at home? Like, think about it for a second, guys. Think about, and try to okay, and try to think in her situation. Imagine that you are alone at home. It's 1 a.m. in the morning, and then you hear noises outside. You don't know what's going on. You just see two people that they're getting closer to the cars. You don't know if they're going to harm you, if they're going to break into a house. You don't know if they're going to break into a car. That is super, super, super scary, guys. That's scary as hell, because it happened to me once, that when I was in the USA, I was an au pair there. And then my host family, they lived in a very nice and expensive neighborhood. And then I remember that the doors, like the front door of the house was made of glass, only glass. And then one wooden part, like in the sides. There was no alarm system. There was no way to, like have a safer door or anything. You could just break a door. You could just break into the house by like hitting the door or banging the door, and then it was open and you could get into the house. So there was no like security at all. The only way it was, I don't even know how to call that in Spanish. Como, es que no sé ni siquiera cómo se dice en español. Como una, what's the word? Como un que se le pasa la puerta, como un, what's the word in Spanish?
Pasador.
Pasador. Very good. So there was only one like those. Era solo uno, pero era como que se pasaba así y ya. No security. And then my host family, they were away because it was almost New Year time. It was December the 27th or the 28th. I don't remember exactly. And they were away, and I was alone at home with the dog. And the dog was a very cute dog. He was super small, and he wasn't like an aggressive dog that you say, oh, I feel safe, because if something happens, then he's going to start barking, and then he's going to help me in a dangerous situation. No, that dog was the sweetest dog ever, and he was such a small dog. And then it was probably, let's say, 11 p.m. and I received an email from my host mom telling me, oh, please, you need to enter the cars, because there was there were people, since it was around Christmas, they were trying to steal the boxes that they would get with the Christmas presents, because that is pretty common. Like, if you're not at home and then you have a delivery, they just leave it outside of your house, and nobody is going to steal those things, because that doesn't happen there. So you know, people, they took advantage of that, and they were like, oh, there are many people, you know, leaving their boxes outside, receiving their boxes, so they were stealing the packages. And then she told me, like, be careful, because they saw, like, the neighbors, so people that do not live in the area trying to steal things. And I misunderstood. And then she said there was somebody broke into a car, and I misunderstood the situation, and I thought that somebody broke into one of their cars, like my host family's car. And I was freaking out, because I said, oh my God, the cars are in the garage. If someone broke into the car, then that means that someone broke into the house. And I was super scared, because I was alone. And then I was like, what if that somebody breaks into the house, I am alone? I would do the same thing, guys. I would do the exact same thing. I will call the police, because try to put in the situation when where you are alone at home, and you see two random people laughing and talking, and you don't know what's going on. You will call the police in that situation, and then the police will come, and then you will feel like better and like safer. Don't you think? Like, don't you agree with what I'm saying?
Yes, teacher, I agreed with you, of course.
Teacher,
And
you
your
say
mind
something.
played with you.
Yeah, I was afraid. Yes, Julie.
You say some word, but I can understood. Miss something. You say something like miss mistake.
Misunderstood. Misunderstood.
Yes.
So
Yes.
it's the opposite of understand. I mean, understood, like, oh, I understood the message. I misunderstood, it means that I didn't understand the email very well. That is the opposite of. Yeah.
Okay.
So when I was reading her email, she said somebody broke into one of the cars, and I misunderstood, because I thought it was one of the Rothschild's cars. And I was like, oh my God. And then I was about to take the dog with me, go to a hotel and spend the night in a hotel, because it was my first time alone, like sleeping alone in that house, that it was really big, and the doors were made of glass. So and no security system, there was no an alarm, because there are some houses that they have an alarm system. So if someone tries to break into your house, then the alarms starts, like, the alarms turn on, and and then the police come and so on. But in my house, or I mean in the house I used to live, they didn't have the security system there. So it was scary. It was scary.
Teacher, but what she wants to say when she
Oh,
tells you
so
that
yeah,
message?
I texted her and I said, oh my God, I'm so scared, I don't know what to do, I'm going to a hotel, I think I'm going to stay in a hotel. And she said, no, 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 don't worry, it was not in our cars. It was, I mean, there was a thief that broke into a neighbor's car. So she said, I don't want to scare you. I am just trying to tell you, be careful with the cars. Do not let the cars outside at night. If you need to use a car, you can use the cars, but when at night, you can bring it back to the garage. And then she said, do not leave packages outside of the door. An attendant. So if you see a package, bring it in. And then she also said, if you see, sometimes every Sunday, or they receive the newspaper. And then it happens that if you don't pick up the newspaper, it means that there are people that are not living in that house. So the thieves, they're like, oh, there are packages of the newspaper, so it means that nobody's living there, so we can break into the house and try to steal things. So she said, as soon as you see the newspaper, bring it home, even though you're not going to read it, or I mean, because I didn't read the newspaper there. And then she said, if you see it, just bring it home. and I try to leave a light on during those days when I was alone at home, so that I feel I could feel safer in that situation. So guys, now we're going to finish with one activity in which you are going to work in groups, and you're going to discuss the following questions. Whose side of the story do you believe? Now that we were talking about both sides of the story, were the police right to arrest Bill and his friend? And what further action do you think the police took? Like, what do you think happens after they were at the police cell? Police cell means celda, right? So what do you think happens after they were in the police cell? What happened to Bill and Frank? So where are you going to do it? You're going to do it in the Google Drive folder here. Here. Here, where it says class number 6. So I'm going to send you to the groups. I want you guys to discuss what side of the story do you believe, what side of the story you think is the right side of it, and then I want you to discuss first and then write down your idea. And if you think that the police were right to arrest Bill and his friend, and what further action do you think the police took? So here we have, in class number 6, we have group 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and 6. So you are going to open it. You're going to write a story. And here we have the questions. So this is what I want you to do, guys. Is it clear?
Is it?
Yes, it is. Okay, so I'm going to send you to the groups. Is anybody connected twice? ¿Alguien conectadito doble? Is there a person that is connected twice?
Yes, teacher, me.
Gilbert? Okay. So. Gilbert. Okay. Okay, guys, so please join. Okay. Andres, Daniela, Natalie, and Harold, please join your groups. Daniela and Natalie, please join your groups. Hello, Stephanie.
Profe, ¿nos puedes dejar compartir pantalla?
Oh,
Por favor.
yeah, go ahead. Try now. Like go to your group and then try to share screen.
Teacher, sorry. Can
Hello.
you?
I sent you already the invitation. You are in group number 4. Go.
Hi, teacher.
Hello.
Hello, teacher. It's more credible than the story and the story said by the older woman. This is more credible than.
Guys, you can share your screen. You can share your screen.
Thanks, teacher. Yes, we couldn't a few minutes ago, but thanks.
Okay, go ahead.
Teacher,
Hello.
teacher, qué pena es que me pasé el celular a la tablet y no encuentro el link para hacer el grupo con Daniela.
You're Natalie Perez?
Yes.
Okay. Daniela Lozada o Daniela Fernanda. Yes, that group.
Sí, señora, creo.
Okay. So it's group number 4. Okay. You can join. Hello, Mayra. Do you remember what your group is? Do you remember? Hello.
Sorry.
No, it's okay. Do you remember what your group is?
2.
Number 2. Okay, go ahead.
Thank you, teacher.
Of course.
Okay. Were the police right to arrest him and his friend? I think yes,
No.
because.
Ay, no.
¿Por qué no? Why not?
No, they
No.
weren't drunk. They weren't
No.
drunk.
But they
I think that the police.
It was a mistake.
I think that it was a mistake. Yes.
No, because sometimes.
About the situation?
Yeah.
Okay, ustedes then also the police should have done more questions.
The
Story is
we believe
correct. It's
the first story
correct.
is the correct.
Because
Always.
maybe the older woman
Buenas, buenas.
Hello, Brian. So what happened?
I teacher. I think that I was in my subgroup.
Oh, so
Sorry.
do you remember what is your group?
Number 3.
Who were the participants? Andrea.
Gilbert and Judy.
Oh, so that is group number 5.
Sorry.
Go ahead.
Thank you.
Okay. Okay, guys. So, did you have time to finish?
Yes, teacher.
Yes, teacher.
Okie dokie.
Yes, we did.
Okay, awesome. So I am going to ask some of the groups because we don't have much time. We have less than 10 minutes. So I am going to ask group number 6, okay? Group number 6, we have Andres Alvarez, Jennifer Jimena Vera, and Joely. So Joely, you are going to talk from your group, and you're going to tell me what you guys wrote.
Okay. We think that the one who tells the truth was Billy and his friend. And we think that the police should ask to them about the story and not truth only on the older woman's story.
Okay. Okay. So you think that they should have asked, the police officer should have asked Billy and Frank before they got arrested?
Yes.
Okay. Okay, very good. Thank you. Thank you very much. Let's go with group number 2. Group number 2, what do you think? In group number 2, we have, okay, Angelica, Diana, Harold, and Mayra.
For the first question?
Yeah, the first question.
Okay, so we believe that the story of Bill and his friend was true. However, we also believe that the old woman could misunderstand the situation because she was afraid and she imagined a complete story based on her fears.
Okay, interesting. Okay. Do you think that the police was, or the police officers were right when they arrested Bill and his friend?
No, like right. We believe that no was the correct procedure because Bill and Frank couldn't explain to the police the reasons why they were there. I mean, they only came to the place and to the action, and that's it. They didn't see anything.
They didn't ask them. Like the police officers didn't ask Frank and Billy, and they didn't hear the their point of view. You know, that they couldn't explain what really happened, or their story, or the point of their point of view. Okay, very good. Let's go with group number 5. Okay, group number. Oh, I think we're gonna have time for all of the groups. I think we're gonna have time. Thank you, guys. Group number 5, go ahead. In group number 5, we have Brian, Gilbert, and Julie.
Okay, teacher, we think that it's so suspicious that 2 young men in the middle of the night hanging around the cars is a little bit suspicious. However, we think that the 2 police should have listened the 2 youngs in order to they give his explanation about what they was doing that.
To understand their situation in a better way. Okay, so you think that the story from from Bill and Frank is the right one? So you believe in that part of the story, or in that side of the story? Or do you believe in the old lady's story?
We think that with the old lady.
So you think the old lady, okay, so you think that the old lady story was true, but I mean, was the what actually happened. However, you think that the police officer should have asked them first before arresting them. Okay, very good. Let's go with group number 3. Group number 3. Mayra, Andrea, Freddy, and Sarai.
For the first question or the second one?
The first one, just the first.
Okay, we do believe the guy's side story.
Okay.
You know, because there was no evidence that they tried to steal or damage the cars.
Okay.
And we do think that the old lady maybe she
was just scared. Maybe she was
yeah,
just
she was
scared,
just scared, and maybe
she
because they were so loud at that time,
she misunderstood. Yep. Okay.
Yeah.
She misunderstood the situation. Okay, very good. And then group number 1, Christian, Sylvia, and Stephanie. What do you think? Do you think, what story, what part, or what side of the story do you believe?
We believe that in the two friends story.
Okay. So you think,
Yes.
okay.
For the second question, for our, it wasn't right because the police didn't try to confirm the story of the old lady and just assumed that it was true, and they arrested to Bill and his friend.
Okay, yeah, they assumed that was good. They assumed that it was true, but it wasn't. I mean, if you think that it wasn't true. Okay, guys, time's up. It's 7:43, so we're about to finish this session. Chicos, en español, recordemos que, se lo digo en español para que todo quede lo más claro posible. La próxima semana ya estamos terminando ciclo. O sea, nosotros terminamos hold on. Hoy es sexta, séptima, octava, novena. El jueves finalizamos. No se les olvide trabajar en Moodle el fin de semana. Recuerden que deben trabajar en al menos 2 actividades de Moodle, las que ustedes quieran de cada unidad, ¿ok? De cada unidad, al menos 2 unidades. Si las pueden hacer todas, maravilloso. Si no les da el tiempo por el tema del trabajo, universidad, whatever situation it is, la situación que sea, al menos 2 actividades, ¿ok? Las que ustedes decidan, las que ustedes quieran realizar. Utilicen el fin de semana para trabajar en Moodle, no dejen todo para el último momento porque pues se viene el examen y demás. And that's it. Y eso sería todo por hoy, chicos. Thank you very much. I'll see you on Monday. Nos vemos el lunes. Feliz fin de semana. Bye bye, guys.
Thank you. Bye bye.
Thank you.
Bye.
Bye.
Take care. Bye bye.